behalf of the community unit school, Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Community Unit School District 300 Board of Education, I would like to thank you for being in attendance, both virtually and in person, for tonight's board meeting. At this time, I would like to reconvene the meeting of the Community Unit School District 300 Board of Education to order for Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. Madam Secretary, please take the roll.
Burkett, present. Fiorentino.
Present.
Gothier.
Present.
McKinday.
Present.
Thomas.
Present.
Zettler.
Present.
You have 6 board members present.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have to find my next one. Okay. For those of you who have watched our board meetings both in person and over the internet, you will remember we have rules of decorum. These rules serve a purpose so we as a board can have a meaningful and productive board meeting. In order for this to occur, decorum must be maintained. The following are the rules of decorum. Number 1, there is no need for anyone to call out comments during our meeting or to raise their voices, nor to interrupt another speaker or presenter. We as a board will listen to you and be respectful. We will consider your comments, but will not dialogue or engage with speakers in the forum. Excuse me. Board members may choose to discuss matters brought up during public comment during board discussion. However, I need to remind everyone that this would be a board discussion and the board will not dialogue or engage with anyone other than the superintendent and other board members. I ask you to please be respectful, civil, and courteous during our meeting. Number 2, if a person chooses to be disruptive, I will gavel the person and ask them to please stop their disruptive behavior. Additionally, our district safety officer or his agent may warn them that if they choose to continue their disruptive behavior, additional consequences will be forthcoming. Number 3, if a person chooses to continue to be disruptive and not follow the rules, they will be removed from our meeting. This action is a direct result of the person's choice to be disruptive. Number 4, as a board, we as a board will respectfully listen to each speaker. Just because we didn't vote the way some wanted us to does not mean that we didn't listen or take into consideration what you had to say. Lastly, please remember we are all learned differently. Some of us take notes during the presentations and therefore take our eyes off of the speaker. It doesn't mean that we are not listening. Number 5, in our effort to accommodate the ability for more seating in our boardroom, we respectfully request that the audience remain in their seats throughout the duration of the meeting, with the exception of using the restroom or speaking at the podium. 6, and finally, I want to thank you in advance for your cooperation. The board and I look forward to a meaningful and productive meeting. Item 5, approval of the agenda. There's going to be no need for a second close. So with that one change, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Fiorentino.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Zettler.
Aye.
McKinday.
Aye.
Gothier.
Aye.
Burkett, aye. Motion passes 6-0.
Okay. Superintendent Harkin.
Yes, thank you. We have a lot of student recognitions tonight. Our first student recognition is our Dundee Middle School D300 Battle of the Book champions, and I'd like to have Beth Gowdy, Coordinator of Literacy, and Bess Kirch, District Coordinator, join us at the podium to introduce our students.
Like the shirts.
Good evening, Dr. Harkin and members of the board. Battle of the Books is a reading incentive program that encourages students to read, come together as a team, and test their knowledge. In January, each of the 5 middle schools recruits students from grades 6 through 8 to join their team. Teams were given a list of 24 books and were asked to prepare to answer in-depth questions related to each title. Students were given 3 months to prepare for the Battle of the Book season. At the end of April, the Battle of the Book season started. Throughout the month of May, students from the middle schools competed to earn points for their team in order to have the chance to compete in the final round. On May 18th, DMS and AMS teams competed in the final battle. After a fierce competition between the 2 teams, DMS came in first place. Today we have some of the DMS team here to be recognized and celebrated for their accomplishments. First, we have one of our coaches, Susie Stanley. From 6th grade, we have Grace Burkett, Victoria Flores, Alana McCrate, and Bridget McCrate. And then from 8th grade, we have Zachy and Lakani. Thank you very much.
All right, next up is Kevin Christian, math teacher from Jacobs High School, to introduce our Division Unlimited State Competition, first in the Computational Sciences recipient.
This is fun being here for academics this year. But I'd like to introduce JD de Beauvoir. He competed in the ACES competition this year, which is the Academic Challenge for Engineering and Science. It's a massive statewide competition in which there are 8 different categories. He competed in the regional, qualified for the sectional, squeezed out of the sectional. He was in one of the toughest sectionals in the state in the computer science division. He was our only state qualifier this year. I'm actually not the coach. I'm his teacher, even though I didn't teach him anything. He knew it all before he showed up for my class. His coach is Mr. Tim, who does a terrific job with the academic challenge team. At the state competition, we are in the highest division. We're going against the schools of 4,000, the biggest schools who have been practicing for this all year. And JD won the computer science category at the state meet. So he's one of the 8 state champs. He won his category. He got 22 out of 30 correct on the extremely difficult test. Second place was one behind him. If you go down to 5th place, he beat him by 7, 8 questions. Really dominant performance. He came back saying, I don't know how I did. I know I got a few wrong, not realizing how difficult it actually was. But this is a really big deal for him to win this. We've never had a state champ in school history. So congratulations, JD. Overly impressive, and appreciate how well you did on that.
Great job. Thank you so much.
All right. Next up, I would love to introduce and bring up to the podium Tommy Parisi to introduce our high schools to talk about our 2023 IHSA state qualifiers for our high school spring sports.
Good evening, Dr. Harkin, Board of Education. It's my great pleasure tonight to come before you to celebrate some of our amazing spring athletes. These athletes are our state qualifiers. We had another successful spring with representation from all 3 of our high schools, Dundee, Crown, Hampshire, and Jacobs. And I'd like to take some time to celebrate some of our representatives. We'll start off with Dundee Crown, and we have our girls track coach with us, Miss Chris Hopkins.
Hello. Thank you again to Dr. Harkin and the board for letting us be here for tonight. We want to take this time to recognize Paulina Tinajero. She is a 4-year track and field athlete for us. She began her career with us during 2020. Unfortunately, it was only an indoor season that year due to the pandemic. However, we knew big things were in store for Paulina because even with that short freshman season, she was our lead 400 runner and triple jumper, and she was our second best long jumper that year. We were so excited to see what the next 3 years would bring. Her sophomore year would be not a disappointment at all. She was our team's top 100-meter runner, 400-meter runner, and 200-meter runner, and she was our top long jumper and triple jumper. She also broke the school record in the triple jump with her record of 38 feet, 4.5 inches, which is still the record today. It was a long shot for her to qualify for state that year, but Paulina was really getting excited about it, and so were the coaches. Paulina had worked hard during her off-season and was hungry to get to state her junior year. She led our team in the 60-meter dash, the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, and the long jump and triple jump, and was second in the 400 for us. She had hit the state qualifying mark in the triple jump in some meets, but had to do it at sectionals. Unfortunately, it didn't go her way that year, and as coaches, we had hoped that this setback would be nothing but a comeback for her in her senior year. And Paulina sure did not disappoint in her senior season of track and field. She came back much more poised and confident, and she was a captain for our team this year as well, and she definitely wanted to qualify for state. She led her team in the 60-meter dash, the 100, the 200, and the 400-meter sprints, and the long jump and the triple jump. She broke a 36-year-old school record in the long jump, and she qualified for state in not only the triple jump that she had her focus on throughout her 4 years, but also in the long jump as well. It was so exciting to see her 4 years pay off with these records, and by qualifying for state, Paulina finished 16th in the triple jump and 21st in the long jump at the state meet. She leaves Dundee Crown as a true competitor in track and field, and she was all conference in 2021 in the triple jump, in 2022 in the 400, the 200, and the triple jump, and in 2023 in the 100, the 200, the long jump, and the triple jump. And she was also a state qualifier in both the long jump and the triple jump in 2023, and also has the long jump and the triple jump records at Dundee Crown now as well. We were blessed to have Paulina make her mark here at Dundee Crown High School, and we look forward to seeing what her future holds for her in track and field at Elmhurst University. Again, thank you so much, and please give a round of applause here to Paulina Tinajero.
Next from Dundee Crown is our boys track coach, Matt D'Angelo.
Thank you to the board for having us tonight and celebrating our athletes. So here are our state qualifiers in the 100 and 200 meters. We have Henry Kennedy. In the 4x100 meter relay, we had Henry Kennedy, Khalif Freeman, Ianu Shunukin, Tyrion Spencer. And in the 4x200 meter relay, we had Henry Kennedy, Khalif Freeman, Tyrion Spencer, and Christian Roeder. This group collectively represented one of the best sprint groups in the entire state of Illinois this year, and probably in all of DC's history as well. Unfortunately, we were an injury away from being all-state in 3 events. But this group overall was a third ever DC sprint group to qualify in both the 4x1 and the 4x200 meter relay in the school's history. They were back-to-back 4x1 and 4x200 meter conference champions in 2022 and 2023. That has never been done in Dundee Crown's history. And the group was also the first ever Dundee Crown 4x100 meter relay sectional champions. They broke the DC school record in the 4x100 relay from a team that had finished third in state. And they ran top 10 times in the 100 meter dash, the 4x100 meter relay, and the 4x200 meter relay in the entirety of the IHSA track year. There's so much to be proud of about their accomplishments this year. But lastly, I'll say this one thing. It was an emotional end of the year. I know it didn't go as we wanted to at the state meet. But it's important for me to be able to tell each and every one of these athletes one thing. As great as the accomplishments that they had this year, your worth in life is not just because of those accomplishments. It's defined by so much more than that. I couldn't be proud of these guys. Can you please honor them? Thank you very much.
Good job, you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Great job. Great job.
Hampshire High School had state success as well in girls track, boys tennis, and boys track. And with us tonight, we have Owen Copeland, who ran our 4x400 relay for Hampshire High School. They came as a 4x400 relay team, second in the DeKalb sectional that qualified them for state. Owen's senior and is graduated and will now be attending Evansville to run cross country and track for them. We wish Evan the best of luck in his future endeavors. Owen. That brings up Jacobs High School. We have with us tonight Jason Wright, our head girls track coach.
Well, this year we were able to qualify 3 girls for the state meet. First is Natalia Macharovsky in the mile, the 1,600-meter run. Addie Gorman in pole vault, and then we had Sohini Lawrence qualify in pole vault also. She couldn't be here tonight. These 3 qualifiers were impressive all year, hitting new PRs, hitting new things all year, and just really leading the team both on track and off the track as leaders for our team. Addie and Sohini were 2 pole vaulters. We haven't had a pole vaulter qualify for state in a long time. So it was really good to see not 1 but 2 make it, and then both of these were able to go back to state for their year after going for cross country as well. So we were really happy with them being where they are and doing as well as they did. So thank you, girls, and really good job this year.
Next from Jacobs is our head boys track coach, Jason Bohart.
This year at Jacobs High School, for the boys, we had 4 events qualify for the state meet. Our 4x800 meter relay ended up 16th at the state meet, and that was Isaac Pepin on the right, Matt Andriano, and Max Zazinski, and then Adam Lakeman, who's not here tonight. And then we had 3 individuals. Matthew Andriano qualified individually in the 800. Aiden Demuth qualified individually in the 32. And Devin McTagg individually in the 300 hurdles. 4 of these guys up here were part of probably the deepest distance crew that we've ever had and scored very well for us when we got to some of those big meets. So they did a very good job, and of the people we have up here, 4 of these guys are going to be coming back. The only graduate's going to be Aiden. So I want to congratulate them and wish them well in the future and next year at Jacobs. And they are very happy that they did not have to talk. There was
Good job. Congratulations. Next time we'll make you talk. Okay? Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
And last but certainly not least, we have our assistant head boys tennis coach, Mark Shirk.
Hello, everybody. I'm filling in for Coach Betts, who unfortunately couldn't make it here tonight. Augie Nelson and Soham Kalra were at the heart of our team's success this season. Their 7-0 record at first doubles in Fox Valley Conference matches included 5 team match clinching wins, to help keep our team undefeated in the Fox Valley Conference since 2018. Their incredible 8-2 record in 3 set matches is a testament to their mental toughness and grit, and is especially impressive given their ages. More important than the 3-set win at the state tournament is the outstanding sportsmanship and character these two show every day as ambassadors of Jacobs High School. And we're so excited to have them both back next year as leaders in our program.
Thanks, Coach. Good job. Congratulations. Congratulations.
That concludes our celebrations. Our athletes are actively working in all of our summer camps right now, and we look forward to seeing you in the fall with some more accomplishments. Thank you very much.
Can you advance the slide deck? All right, so next up, I would like to bring Joe Sosowski, Director of CTE Pathways and College and Career Programs, to acknowledge our great team out at Hampshire High School that won the International Technology and Engineering Educators Association Program of Excellence Award.
Good evening, Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Harkin. I'm excited to be here this evening to introduce to you an amazing group of teachers from Hampshire High School. This past fall, Hampshire High School's administration, along with Central Office Administration, nominated Hampshire High School's Industrial Technology Department, otherwise known as the Technology and Engineering Education Department, for the Illinois Technology Educators Association's Program of the Year. Upon receiving this award, they were then moved on to the International Technology and Engineering Educators Association's Program of Excellence Award. This award is one of the highest honors given to technology and engineering education programs at the elementary, middle, and high school levels. The Program Excellence Award is presented in recognition of outstanding contributions to the profession and students. I have taught as a technology and engineering education teacher for over 10 years and have been involved at a state level for over 15, and it is an honor and privilege and I can attest to the work that this team does. These D300 staff members serve as models for their colleagues, inspiration to other CTE and technology engineering education teachers and leaders in the region as well as across Illinois in advancing technology literacy for all students. It is an honor and privilege to work side by side with these amazing individuals, and I cannot thank them enough. Now, Dr. Bending.
Good evening, Dr. Harkin, members of the Board of Education. It's an honor to stand here and introduce this amazing group of teachers. I do want to share a quick story. Not only has this department, this group of amazing teachers won accolades for the work that they do with our students at the state, nationwide, and international level. That's all because of the hard work and dedication of over years and their dedication and passion for the skills that they teach and the industry connections that they make that afford our students opportunities to get internships and jobs right out of high school, earning great money and strengthening the industry of the United States. But back to my story, we found out that our industrial tech department was going to be honored as a model program, not only for the nation but also for the world. And we decided at our winter pep assembly that we needed to let the entire school know. And when I introduced that not only were our industrial tech teachers one of the best in the state, one of the best in the nation, one of the best in the world, 2,000 students and staff members in our main gym stood on their feet and gave them an amazing ovation. Really blew the roof off the place and was such a great moment of recognition for our teachers. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you our industrial tech teachers here tonight. Mr. Mike Jakubowski, Mr. Adam Kasperwitz, Mr. Vince Saratella, and Mr. Joe Wagner. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything you do for our kids. Thank you so much for everything you do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
All right. Always a great night, and always a nice variety there of academics and staff, and also our athletes. So next we do have tonight our Blue Ribbon Society award that we're going to be giving to Mauricio Rodriguez. And Mauricio, if you'll come on up here, we'll have you come to the front. So just as he's walking up here, just want to acknowledge what the Blue Ribbon Society represents. So our Blue Ribbon Society recognizes individuals who demonstrate admirable qualities aligned to the District 300 central mission to provide engaging and inclusive educational experiences that empower and equip all students to discover, innovate, and succeed now and in the future. It is our pleasure tonight to present tonight's Blue Ribbon Society Award to Mauricio Rodriguez, a 2023 graduate of Dundee Crown High School. Mauricio has maintained exemplary grades while at Dundee Crown, where he has mastered coursework in AP Calculus, AP Physics, and other challenging classes. But what sets Mauricio apart is his focus on and pursuit of skills that further his quest to become an established inventor. As you will see in a minute, Mauricio has a strong desire to develop new products that can improve people's lives. His enthusiasm for inventing was supported at Dundee Crown through business-oriented classes and independent study. And he is looking to continue honing his skills in product design and mechanical engineering in college. I now invite you to watch a short video that features Mauricio's discussing his passion for inventing.
My name is Mauricio Avaristo Rodriguez. I'm in 12th grade. I go to Dundee Crown High School. I consider myself an inventor. I've been an inventor for my entire life. There's almost an ancestral drive to invent. My grandpa, he was rather impoverished. He was an immigrant from Mexico, the first generation. So he did have to invent many products to sustain himself. And I think that passed down to my mother and down to me. District 300 has nurtured my desires for inventing by providing me all of the equipment I need to actualize my products. I've been doing CAD since freshman year. That's actually what introduced me into 3D modeling. I use 3D modeling every day to solve my own problems or help with aiding my own inventions. So that's been an incredible resource to me. So one thing I actually created in computer-aided design, which was actually a comb. So it's a comb for cleaning hair that we brought to, a U.S. Patent Attorney office, and we worked closely with them and bring it to fruition. It was actually U.S. Patent 10383423. My second invention that I'm working on currently is Trash Seal. Trash Seal is a device that works to suck the air out of your trash can to increase trash bag efficiency and decrease your own hassle having to deal with bags that are full of pockets of air. So as you can see, the trash bag, I can feel it already. Air bubbles everywhere. It's just not snug to the can. I believe the people that would most benefit from this in the industrial sector, so janitorial, food service, anything, just plug it in. So I actually created this device with 3D printers here at Dundee Crown High School. Dundee Crown actually provides us 3D printers in the industrial education wing, so I ended up recalibrating a 3D printer to print out perfect trash seals every time and to increase production rates 24/7 if I'd like. I do plan to apply for a patent, a provisional patent for trash. I actually enjoy the ability to intertwine both the CAD class or the invention and design class along with my accelerator class, because these two things are very closely related, especially with innovation and design. My ideal life would be to invent for myself, invent for companies. At this point, I just want to make something new. I was extremely surprised receiving the Blue Ribbon Society honor from the District 300 Board of Education. I know that very few people are bestowed this honor. I was extremely thankful for all the future opportunities that I couldn't even fathom this brings me.
So definitely not only are you an amazing student and really have high aspirations for what the future is, I love your humility and your kindness that you show and your appreciation for what we've done. So thank you and congratulations on being awarded, and let's give them another round of applause. All right, and last but not least, tonight we'd like to introduce two of our new administrators. And so I'd like first to introduce and bring up to the front of the room Megan Dacey, Miss Megan Dacey. So I'm excited to announce that Mrs. Megan Dacey is going to be our new DeLacy Family Education Center principal. I'd like to give you a little background on Megan. So Mrs. Dacey's current role as an early educator, education services specialist has afforded her a unique opportunity to understand the needs of DeLacy as she has served the building directly for the past 3 years. Mrs. Dacey has a distinguished education background. She's received her undergraduate degree in early childhood education from Northern Illinois University, and she continued to earn additional endorsements in special education and English language learners from other universities. Mrs. Dacey served as an early childhood special education teacher for 4 years in Barrington District 220 and 6 years in Crystal Lake Elementary District 47. In both districts, she worked in self-contained and blended settings. Mrs. Dacey also taught 5 years as an elementary school resource teacher before transitioning into special education administration in Crystal Lake. She has earned her master's degree in educational leadership from Aurora University in 2017. Mrs. Dacey demonstrates a passion and drive for supporting the needs of all students. She looks forward to providing a nurturing school community that meets the needs of our children. I look forward to her positive impact she will have on our students, staff, and the community. I'd also like to acknowledge her husband that's here tonight, Dan Dacey, and also we always love to recognize you because without your support, she can't be successful. So thank you for being here with her tonight to support her, and please join me in welcoming Mrs. Megan Dacey as a new principal of DeLacy Family Education Center. All right, and next, David Rojas, if you'd please join us up here in the front of the room as well. So I'm also excited to announce that Mr. David Rojas will be the new Director of English Learners and World Languages for the district for the upcoming school year. Mr. Rojas has been serving as a coordinator of English learners, and he has a background in supporting language acquisition and English learners instruction. Prior to joining District 300, Mr. Rojas served as principal within the Marquardt School District. He also supported the EL department at the district level. In addition, he served as a building administrator for 13 years in the areas of Bensonville and Aurora. Prior to serving as an administrator, Mr. Rojas was an ESL interventionist and taught bilingual kindergarten. He graduated from the Moody Bible Institute with a Bachelor's of Arts in Broadcasting and holds a master's degree from both Columbia College, Chicago, and Olivet Nazarene University. Mr. Rojas is dedicated to our English Learners Program. He supports our students learning the English language and advocates for them so that they can better face their educational challenges and continue becoming lifelong learners. He believes that the culture and language of English learners are valuable resources to be leveraged for schooling and classroom life, not only to encourage learners, but to positively impact the entire classroom environment by offering new perspectives. He's here just by himself, and we'll say we're happy you're here. So, but let us join me in welcoming Mr. David Rojas as a new Director of English Learners and World Languages. And that concludes the superintendent's staff recognition.
Okay. Item 7, public participation. Please note that the Please note that the Open Meetings Act provides any person the opportunity to address the board under the adopted public participation policy. That being said, the board would like to advise the public that we will not consider statements read during public participation that are not authored by the reader to be credible unless the board has previously received the statement in writing from the author. Additionally, the author should indicate that he or she is granted the public participant the authority to read the statement on his or her behalf. We have one person signed up for public participation. I will call the individual up to the podium. Please state your name in relationship to the district and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Please note the following. Each speaker has been provided with the guidelines for public participation. Minors need to be accompanied by their parents or guardians. The board will consider your comments but will not dialogue or engage with speakers in this forum. Questions raised may be assigned to the superintendent for an answer. As appropriate, a member of the administration may reach out to the speaker to give them relevant information or ask for additional information. This is done to make sure that the board has all of the information needed to properly address the speaker's concerns. Charges, complaints, or challenges against staff members of the district will not be heard in open meetings and should be made in writing to the board and superintendent. We also ask that speakers refrain from personally attacking district staff or members of the board. Pursuant to board policy, this evening's participant must limit her comments to 3 minutes. We ask each participant to be respectful to all individuals who have signed up to speak and adhere to the allotted time limit. We also ask that speakers conduct themselves in a civil and courteous manner and refrain from trying to engage members of the board in dialogue during public participation. Failure to abide by board time rules or those found out of order by the board may lead to exclusion from the meeting to be fair to all participants. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. Our speaker tonight is Sharon Fetting.
Good evening. My name is Sharon Fetting. I'm a parent. First off, I just want to say congratulations to all those kids with the sports awards. It's very impressive, and I'm very happy for them. Now I want to get back to what's going on in the schools. So at the end of the school year, I guess there was a pizza day. I noticed Parkview School, everyone got pizza. It was on their Facebook page. This did not happen at Newbert. Newbert had the highest iReady score, so they provided pizza for only the kids that met their score. So the school that didn't win, they all got pizza, but the school who did the best, singled out the kids who did not meet their goals and did not get pizza. I am not in favor of participation trophies at all, but withholding food as a treat for grade schoolers is wrong. They should have presented the ones that made their goals a certificate and everyone get pizza. On top of that, the principal sent out an email. I won't say the board member's name because I doubt he even knew, But anyways, it said, board member will be providing the pizza for our students that earned the incentive. In order to prevent unnecessary parent emails, please refrain from emailing parents or discussing this incentive as a whole class in advance. While we do not want to we do want to celebrate our students' accomplishments, we would like to be modest in our approach in order to minimize hurt feelings. I feel like I need to get a FOIA for emails that says don't tell parents, how to hide from parents, or unnecessary parents' emails. The only reason why we knew about this was because a teacher reached out to us. This is just ridiculous. Told us that the kids were taken out of class and the other kids sat in the classroom while the kids who met their goals got to eat pizza in another room. If any teacher would like to reach out to us when the school hides stuff from parents, please feel free to contact us on D300 Forward Facebook page. On top of that, just remember to opt your kids out of all surveys in the beginning of the school year. Please check out courageishabit.org. It explains a lot of what the schools are pushing, including our own school. I just thought this could have been preventable. I don't know why the Newbert principal thought it was necessary to separate kids who met their goals when, from what I could tell on Facebook, all the other schools, the whole schools got the pizza. That's it.
Thank you. Item 8, superintendent report.
Yes, we have 2 items on the superintendent's report. First up is I'd like Leslie Lamarca to join us to provide an update on the D300 food pantry. And it looks like Mr. Chuck Mambalis is here with her as well, too. So I appreciate both of you.
Hello from this side. Well, first and foremost, we just want to say thank you very much to Dr. Harkin and the board for allowing us to come in this evening and give you a brief, pretty brief, I mean, I did bring Chuck, so keep your fingers crossed, update on the D300 food pantry. So with that, I'm going to turn it right over to Chuck Mambalis. He is our Director of Operations, and pretty much anything else we ask this guy to do, he does for us. So I'm going to let Chuck take the first couple minutes of the presentation this evening.
Thank you, Leslie. We have been in service since 2016, so we're heading up on our 7th anniversary as a food pantry in September. So it'll be 7 years that we've been open and serving the community. Who are we and why do we exist? So we're a nonprofit organization, and our only purpose is to serve the families, the employees, and the area college students that are in need of food. And so if you have a need and you're in one of those 3 groups, we can help you out. We have 100%, we're volunteer run, 100% donation dependent. We don't pay anybody to work in our organization, and all of our money comes from donations from the kind people that live in our community and communities around us. Our average poverty rate in the school district is 46%. We got that by taking all of the students that qualify and then just dividing that by the total number of students in the district. So about 1 in every 2 students qualifies. We came up with our number of 4,200 students that have food insecurity, AKA they're hungry, and that's a national average, is 20%. So if you take 20% of the students in the district, that's how you come up with 4,200 students that have food insecurity. And so this is why we exist. This is why we're a group that's out there trying to help folks. A lot has happened. We came in front of you in 2019. We haven't been back for 4 years. COVID. It hit us hard as a food pantry along with the rest of the community and the rest of the world. We went to what they call a box model. We never did close for those 2 years approximately. And we provided, people would drive up. We're in the back of Carpentersville Middle School, and folks drove up, and sometimes we'd be out there 4 or 5 hours loading boxes, loading produce, loading dairy into their cars and helping people out in a different manner because we couldn't have them inside shopping in person, so we did that a little differently. We do have a fleet of vehicles. When we came to you before, we had a van. We now have a van that's refrigerated, and we have a box truck that's refrigerated and has a gate lift. And it's really helped us when we talk about more options. We're able to go through the Direct Connect program through Northern Illinois Food Bank. We go to stores, and we go on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and we pick up food from local stores. We go to Targets, and we go to Sam's Clubs, and we go to Jewel's and Walmart's, and we pick up our food, a lot of it. our increased service efficiency, we now have appointments. We used to have folks just stop in and they would wait in line. We have appointments, so we do 15 people in every 30-minute slot. And so now you come and it's kind of come as we're ready for you, so you're not standing and waiting, and it's a much more efficient system. It's worked out great for us. We have added a third location since we came to you, so we've always had the location in the back of the Carpentersville Middle. We do have an outlet, like an ancillary place that we use out of Jacobs High School called Eagles Wings, but we have now rented on a monthly basis. We utilize the old Park District building on Washington Street in Carpentersville, and we do outreach out of there. So folks that can't make it to our shopping options on Wednesday night and the one Saturday that we do a month, we do have folks that come there and pick up boxes. We work with other groups like Lasagna Love. It's a group that makes lasagnas, and you sign up and you can get a beautiful lasagna from those folks. Very, very nice people. And so those are some of the outreach things. And then we have updated our mission. And we are working through that right now with our board, and we have 4 committees that are working, and Leslie's going to be able to talk more about that.
I think our next slide thank you. Our next slide shows, well, I think we skipped a slide. There we go. That's our updated mission. We're very proud of that. It really captures what we're doing more, I think, specifically than the one we did before. So really, we're trying to offer more services to families to help them in multiple ways. So that really captures that. So that is our updated service. The other quick new thing I want to mention that's new since 2019, if you haven't checked it out, you gotta, is we have a beautifully redesigned website. So check that out if you haven't been out there recently. It's just d300foodpantry.org. So give that a look. We had a volunteer, totally redesign it for us, and it's beautiful. So I want to kind of share the crust of why we do what we do. And the reason this slide says this is the bad news and the good news is because, you know, it pains us all a little bit to understand and to realize that there are a lot of people out there that need help. And that's the bad news, right? That's what we all kind of get up every day and we deal with and we realize. However, the positive side of that is there are organizations, us included, pat ourselves on the back, we are here for those families. And so that is the good news. So you have to look at it from full circumference. So for the school year of 2022-2023, we served 546 specific, distinct families. And that accounted for 2444 specific individuals, and drum roll please, over 1,000 kids we help feed. So those are, again, sad on one side, but really uplifting on the other side when you think about the fact that maybe some of those families, or it's very likely that a lot of those families would not have known where to go for a resource for food if we weren't there for them. So we're very proud and honored to have been there to serve them. So the other number that I think is important, well, there's 2 more quick numbers. The ones on the slide there is when you look at comparison between the school year before, 21-22, and 22-23, we're really only up 19 households this year from last year, right? So 19 more specific households. I don't know if they're all the same or what, but it's 19 additional households. However, the number that is crazy that really shows you, gives you a good barometer of where we're at right now and what's going on out there is pantry visits. So in the prior school year, and when I say school year, I did the numbers from mid-August to mid-May. So from last school year to this school year, last school year we had 2,863 pantry visits. This last year we had 4,200. That's a 47% increase. So what that tells us is that families are coming to us more. We had 19 more households come, but they're coming to us more often and for longer periods of time. So that's really what that means. So again, good news, bad news. The other good news, or the other thing, kind of number thing that I want to share that I think really epitomizes what we do week in and week out is every Wednesday night, we are now serving about 100 to 115 families through our space of 900 square foot. We do a lot with that space, and I'm very proud of the team, Chuck, and all the others that volunteer and make it happen every week. And comparatively to last year, we were probably in the high 70s, low 80s. and it's been in the low 100s every single Wednesday night now for about 5 to 7 months. And if you throw in Eagles Wings, what they're doing over there with Jeff Davis and all the good work he does, and what we do out of the Outreach Center with our food boxes, we're serving about 100 to 135 families every week is what's averaging. And we know that there's more out there that need serving, and there's other things to talk about there. But yeah, so those are some pretty eye-opening, and I think, again, really telling numbers of what's going on out there. So on that, I want to end our presentation tonight with some just all happy things, good things. We are, again, just want to say thank you for the wonderful collaboration and the wonderful partnership that we have with School District 300. And out of that came, very soon, we'll have pantry school liaison at every building across our district. And I want to thank Dr. Harkin and Dr. Smith for helping make that happen. We're actually already working with them, but you'll really see that go into action in the fall when things get moving again from a student perspective. And so we're very excited about that. We also will have, on the kind of hand in hand with that, and we'll work conjunctively with that, we'll have an improved communication plan with School District 300, as well as just the community at all. So we're working internally and again collaboratively with District 300 on that. And then, and this is like a, first peek, guys are the first to know this, we are actually we're in the market for some new space. We've decided that we have been, and we will continue to be, as long as we need to be, the little pantry that could. And we'll do everything in our power to keep serving as many families as much as we can. However, we know for long-term sustainability, our best option is to look for another option as far as space, right? So we're exploring all different options, again, in collaboration with School District 300, but also on our own. We might even possibly build something down the line. Our mission will not change. We will always be the pantry that is here to serve School District 300. You heard me say that. So please, even when I leave, you can't, nobody better change that. I don't think we will. We're all very, very committed to that. So we're very excited about that. As we look at long-term organizational sustainability, that's very important to us. As some of us move on, our lives change, we move on, we pass the baton to other volunteers and other things. We want to make sure there's some things in place that make sure that our organization is there for the families of the future that need it. As much as I'd love to tell you hunger is going to go away and the need is going to go away, I think we all know that it's probably not. So last, I just want to say it's very exciting that I want to say congratulations to Westfield and congratulations to Dundee Crown Chargers. They won the Hunger Champions competition this year. So if you see some wolves or chargers roaming about, make sure you congratulate them. We're presenting them with a really ostentatious, beautiful trophy the first 3 years, so we're excited about that. And I guess that's really all we wanted to say. We wanted to keep it brief. We know you have a lot of important things to talk about and to do. We left you each a packet of information. We would welcome further discussion or conversation if anybody would like it. You all probably have my number, but my card's in there. You all probably know how to get a hold of Chuck. Anyone in our organization would be happy to talk to you further if you have ideas or thoughts to share. With that, we'll just say, are there any questions that we can answer this evening?
So what, how can the average person get involved to support the pantry?
Well, there's different ways that you can support the pantry. You can be a volunteer. As Chuck mentioned, right now we are 100% volunteer run, and we have multiple shifts available throughout the week, daytime shifts, evening shifts, even weekend shifts, that you can come and volunteer in various ways, to help the operations side of our organization. So
Various schools have different volunteer services requirements, and some of the things they do, and they do service at the pantry to put towards those requirements?
Oh yes, we work very closely with all the National Honor Societies in our district, and all of our hours are, I'm going to draw a blank on what it's called, but you know what I mean. They're sponsored. That's what it is. Yeah. We are considered sponsored hours. And a cool thing for the students out there for the summer, you maybe have seen it, we've posted it a couple of times, any hours they do for the summer will count for the school year. So that's kind of awesome too.
Awesome. So is there some place that people can go right now? Can you give us a website or a phone number to call or get it?
Sure. They can go to d300foodpantry.org. All the information you could ever want is there. We do manage all of our volunteer shifts through an outside vendor called In It Live. and it's very easy to navigate, easy to sign up. And you can also check us out on Facebook, or we have a pretty robust Facebook page. It's got a lot of things going on. Instagram, we're on that. And then if all else fails, you can just email. You can email info@d300.org. That comes to me, and I'll take good care of you, answer your questions, etc. So,
Anybody else have any questions?
I don't have a question, but I just, I wanted to say thank you, because food insecurity and hunger is detrimental to a child's learning. I mean, they go to school and they're hungry, they're not gonna be able to focus, they're not gonna be able to sit still. It's uncomfortable. And I think the slideshow was really great, and I think a lot of people don't realize how many children and families actually are struggling with food insecurity. So I thought that was really great to just like point that out. And yeah. Good job. Thank you.
thank you. Thanks.
Anybody else?
Good.
Thank you guys so much for everything you do. You make a difference every day.
Thank you, and thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie and Chuck. Really appreciate it. Next up, we have an update on our food service program, and Jennifer Porter's up to share some updates on that.
Yes. Thank you, Leslie and Chuck, for what you guys do. Appreciate it. Good evening again, Superintendent Harkin, members of the board, staff, and community members. I'm here tonight to provide an update on our food service program. As you can see on our title slide here, it represents Goal 1, develop the whole child. Goal 5, use district resources equitably and efficiently. Whoops, wrong way. Here are some facts about our current food service program. We participate in the National School Lunch Program. We receive federal funds. We are 45% district-wide free and reduced. We provide breakfast, lunch, snacks, supper. We serve over 13,000 meals per day. And our current food service management provider is Aramark. They've had a 5-year contract since 2015-2016. We've extended it 3 years, three additional one-year extensions because of the pandemic. They were emergency extensions. There's new legislation that has come out this year for invitation for bid or request for proposal. Prior to this legislation, the district had no choice but to accept the lowest bidder. Under the new legislation, the district is one of the first districts in Illinois to successfully put out to market their food service contract for the 23-24 school year. This process is still very prescriptive and is governed by the Illinois State Board. We felt it was very important to come out this year because there's going to be many districts that are going to be coming out next year. We want to get out to the market. We had 4 proposals that came in. One was Aramark, Whitson's, Quest, and Organic Life. The evaluation that we used to look at the proposals was cost, the financial proposal. Thanks, Mike. The health and well-being of students, menu variety, sourcing local food products, that was really important. That's one of the things the state really recognized. Hormone and pest-free practices. Animal welfare. Are we, utilizing meat that's humanely raised or handled? Contracting with small and minority businesses. We also did site visits and taste testing. So we had a group of 5 of us that went out to all 4 of the different firms that did proposals. We taste tested. It was interesting, I will tell you that. But we did enjoy a lot of the food. And then we did do 2 surprise ones that our vendors didn't know about. And then we also checked on experience and references. So when we come up to this, the recommendation is for Organic Life. Organic Life was founded in 2004. The founding members are chefs. Currently, they have more than 1,000 employees. They serve meals to 30 Illinois school districts, and they're local with corporate offices located in Chicago. They have a positive track record and references. And this is their philosophy: treat school lunch with the respect and precision of a 4-star restaurant. And I don't think our kids deserve that. Really do believe that. Here's their mission statement, and I highlighted: we steadfast believe in combining the highest quality ingredients with 4-star culinary pedigrees, marrying the taste buds of children with the needs of the growing minds. and bodies. And I'm going to echo some of the things that were just said. Research shows that providing healthy meals for students has a significant impact on their overall well-being and academic performance. It improves cognitive function, enhances academic performance, has behavioral and emotional benefits, improves attendance, provides healthy weight management, provides long-term health benefits, and has a role in the social and emotional well-being. Some of the enhancements we are looking forward to: improve offerings, prioritizing fresh organic ingredients in compliance with the USDA standards, the quality ingredients against locally sourced products, offerings of scratch entrees for students and staff. Now, it was very impressive. They make their pizza crust they're fresh, they're not frozen. I know. And they taste good. So, and they're all within the guidelines, so we are very impressed with that. In-season fresh fruit and vegetables, organic when possible, 100% fruit juice, higher quality meats including whole muscle chicken breasts, all beef hot dogs, and lunch meat with no fillers or variety of meat. They have vegan, vegetarian, and plant-based meal offerings, and one of the things that we loved visiting, they had complimentary infused water for all students and staff at the cafeteria. There is nothing like seeing a beautiful jug of water with fresh fruit in it, and the kids just go up and get the water. And then we're also looking at a wide variety of food station offerings for grades 9 through 12. Transition and performance monitoring. Our summer programs will continue to be covered through Aramark. Aramark employees will have engagement with Organic Life. There is a meeting that's set up on Thursday that Aramark employees have been told about, that they can come and meet with Organic Life and show their interest in applying for a position with them. Community communication engagement plan. Organic Life, we have district meetings set up. First one's tomorrow. It's a power meeting to kickstart everything. We're really looking forward to it. Cafeteria and kitchen branding, they've already been out looking at our cafeterias, and we want to make sure that it's a welcome place for our kids to be in. Menu planning. Okay, this is something that, you know, just like transportation, we're not experts in menu planning. And so what we've done is when we went to put the RFP together, we sought the assistance of an external culinary consultant. And moving forward, we will continue to use that consultant to make sure our menus are where they should be, and also making sure that we're holding Organic Life accountable. And then we're looking at our point of sale transition. One of the things that we have right now is we have a separate meal service payment system versus our student fees. We'll be putting both of them to Pushcoin, so we'll have one point of service. Thanks, Mike. And then, of course, performance goals established with monitoring timelines. Again, we're forming a strategic partnership, and in alignment with Goal 1 and Goal 5, the objective is to deliver students with nutritious, enticing meals that contribute to their overall well-being and academic success. Tonight we do have Organic Life CEO and founder Jonas Falk. He's right there in the audience with us, and we are pleased to welcome him and his team, who share our enthusiasm and are eager to serve our district. Their passion for providing nutritious and high-quality meals align perfectly with our goals, and we are excited to embark on this partnership with them. That concludes my presentation. If there are any questions.
Just one for clarification.
Yes.
You said in the transition period, Aramark's going to be doing the summer meals. Is that just this summer?
That's just this summer. Okay. Yeah. They're already in motion right now, and so they'll just continue that.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else?
And assuming you approve them tonight,
Yes.
we welcome them because you still have to vote on it. But we
Yes.
will be asking you to vote on it tonight. And I'm not supposing that they won't, but there is an actual formal approval process. I trust the team has moved forward the
Yes.
proper one. But you'll be voting on this tonight because we want to make sure that we're ready to go by the start of the school year with a smooth transition.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to you and your team for working so hard on this. I'm hoping for improvements. I know my daughter
We are so excited.
is looking forward to it as well. So
Good.
I'm sure I'll let you know how it goes.
I'm
from
sure
her
you will.
perspective.
Yes, thank you. And that's what we want.
Yeah, and I acknowledge the team has done a great job with putting this together and being the first ones out there. And we have been frustrated, and food service has been a common conversation because we were the only state in the nation that had the process of only being able to really select low bid. And we really do want to provide better offerings. And I'm really grateful that Jennifer also specifically is working with the outside consultant, because one of the most important things is making sure what menus we've said we want moving forward are the ones that continue to be provided to our students. And I know we'll get that, and I look forward to seeing those improvements. So great job, Deb and Jennifer and Diane White, who's not here.
Yeah. One of the things I do want to mention is that they were the lowest bid, actually. They weren't by much, but it all worked out that way. So, you know, and they're the best vendor for us right now.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
And that concludes the superintendent's report.
Okay. Item 8, items for discussion. I will read each item individually. I'm 9, I'm sorry. Items for discussion. I will read each item individually to allow for any discussion. As a note to those in attendance, both virtually and in person, some of these items have been vetted through the Board Operations Committee, which is why there may or may not be need for new discussion. 9.1, board meeting minutes for May 23, 2024. 9.2, disposal report. 9.3, treasurer's report. 9.4, off-cycle accounts payable. 9.5, facility rental agreement for 2023-2024. 9.6, NIA Executive Board ballot. 9.7, hazardous routes resolution. 9.8, football equipment helmet recertification bid and extension. 9.9, ground supplies and equipment bid and extension. 9.10, track resurface bid. 9.11, contracts for technology-related services. 9.12, temporary staffing services contract, a renewal. 9.13, professional development services, a renewal. 9.14, education services contract, 2023-2024. 9.15, employee benefits contracts renewal. 9.16, employee handbooks administrators and NUG 23-24. 9.17, district calendars 2024, 2025, and 2025, 2026. Number 9.18, IHSA cooperative agreements and a renewal. 9.19, outside legal counsel, depositories and investment managers resolution, treasurer's bond. 9.20, intergovernmental agreement for services for resource officers renewal. 9.21, student out-of-state travel request. And 9.22, Freedom of Information Act report. Okay, let's see. Number 10, consent items. Do I have a motion to approve the consent items?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Fiorentino?
Aye.
Thomas?
Aye.
Burkett? Aye. Gothier?
Aye.
McKinday?
Aye.
Zettler?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Item 11, roll call action items. 11.1, approval of food service bid and 2023-2024 meal rates approval. Do I have a motion for the approval of the food service bid and the 2023-2024 meal rates approval?
So, second.
Madam Secretary, please take the roll.
Thomas?
Aye.
Burkett? Aye. Fiorentino?
Aye.
Zettler,
Aye.
Gothier.
Aye.
McKinday.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Okay. 11.2, approval of student discipline case number 5. I have a resolution I'm going to read. Motion to expel student 5 for the remainder of the summer of 2023, the 2023-2024 school year, summer of 2024, and the first semester of 2024-2025. It is recommended the student is expelled for violation of board policy 7.190, specifically using, possessing, controlling, or transferring a weapon, as that term is defined in board policy, using or attempting to use brass knuckles or other knuckle weapon regardless of its composition to cause bodily harm, violating any criminal law, including but not limited to assault and battery, engaging in any activity that interferes with, disrupts, or adversely affects the school environment, school operations, or an educational function, including but not limited to conduct that may reasonably be considered to endanger the health or safety of students, staff, or school property. Upon return, the student will be administratively placed accordingly. Do I have a motion to approve the student discipline case 5?
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Gothier.
Aye.
Fiorentino.
Aye.
McKinday.
Aye.
Thomas. Zettler.
Aye.
Burkett. Aye. Motion passes 6-0.
11.3, 11.3, approval of student discipline case number 6. I have a resolution to read in this also. Motion to expel student 6 for the remainder of the summer of 2023 and the 2023-2024 school year. It is recommended the student is expelled for violation of board policy 7.190, specifically disobeying rules of student conduct or directives from staff members or school officials, engaging in any activity that interferes with, disrupts, or adversely affects the school environment, school operations, or an educational function, including but not limited to conduct that may reasonably be considered to A, be a threat or an attempted intimidation of a staff member, or B, endanger the health or safety of students, staff, or school property. Engaging in hazing of any kind of bullying or aggressive behavior that does physical or psychological harm to a staff person or another student, or urging other students to engage in such conduct. Violating any criminal law, including but not limited to assault and battery. Using or being under the influence of, in the opinion of a district staff member, any illegal drug or controlled substance or cannabis. Violation of disciplinary warning and safe school plan. This student will have the ability to return at the start of second semester of 2023-2024 school year if the student successfully completes an approved drug treatment program. Upon return, the student will be administratively placed accordingly. Hold on one second, I'm so sorry. Do I have a motion for approval of student discipline case number 6?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary, please take the roll.
Thomas.
Aye.
Burkett. Aye. Gothier.
Aye.
Zettler.
Aye.
McKinday.
Aye.
Fiorentino.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
And finally, I have a motion, or I have a resolution to read on the, for student discipline case number 7. Motion to expel student number 7 for the remainder of the summer of 2023 and the 2023-2024 school year. It is recommended the student is expelled for violation of board policy 7.190, specifically disobeying rules of student conduct or directives from staff members or school officials, engaging in any activity that interferes with, disrupts, or adversely affects the school environment, school operations, or an educational function, including but not limited to conduct that may reasonably be considered to be A, a threat or an attempted intimidation of a staff member, or B, endanger the health or safety of students, staff, or school property. engaging in hazing of any kind of bullying or aggressive behavior that does physical or psychological harm to a staff person or another student, or urging other students to engage in such conduct. Violating any criminal law, including but not limited to assault and battery. Using or being under the influence of, in the opinion of a district staff member, any illegal drug or controlled substance or cannabis. Violation of disciplinary warning and safe school plan. The student will have the ability to return to at the start of the second semester of 2023-2024 school year if the student successfully completes an approved drug treatment program. Upon return, the student will be administratively placed accordingly. Do I have a motion for approval of student discipline case number 7?
So moved.
A second.
Second.
Madam Secretary, please take the roll.
Gauthier?
Aye.
Burkett? Aye. Fiorentino?
Aye.
McKinday?
Aye.
Thomas? Zettler?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Item 12, board discussion. Madam Chairperson, is there a committee report?
Yes, the next Operations Committee meeting will be July 10th.
Okay, anybody have anything else they'd like to discuss tonight? All right. So, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Oh, I gotta call the roll.
Oh, sorry. Call it.
Fiorentino?
Aye.
Thomas?
Aye.
Zettler?
Aye.
McKinday?
Aye.
Gauthier?
Aye.
Burkett? Aye. Motion passes 6-0.
We are adjourned. Thank you so much, everybody.